Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Amine Bros podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rosario, joined by my brother, Angelo. And today we're going to talk about something we love.
Welcome back, everybody. This is a very exciting moment for us.
Something we've been talking about for a while.
Yes, the Summer 2025 Anime Preview. This is a season that has been... we've been hyping it up all year.
Yeah, this is going to be one to remember.
This is going to be... We're going to watch a lot of anime. We already do. But we're going to be watching a lot of anime.
No, this is pretty crazy, yeah. As we go through and we look at these dates, I might pull up my calendar and be like, okay, this is a Tuesday show, this is a Sunday show. Just to, map it out.
Well, I think July 4th is on a Friday, so you can use that as a reference point.
Thank you. I could also use a calendar as a reference point if you weren't familiar with those.
Nah, I never heard of it.
Gotcha.
I don't know a calendar.
Calendar?
All right, so we have... nothing continuing from last season. So a clean slate with that.
Yep.
We have mostly returning shows, and what did we find? Four new shows here. So I figure we start with returning shows.
That sounds like a plan.
And we'll start with ones that only one of us watches.
Okay. Yeah.
And
sounds
starting with Dr. Stone, Science Future Part 2.
Only one of us is caught up in it.
Yeah, we'll get there. I was going to get to that, actually. And that comes out on July 10th. It's a big day.
That's a good day.
So Part 1 had just come out, I guess, in the winter, and then they had the spring off.
Yep.
And it was very good.
Good to hear.
We're getting, close to the end game here. This is Part 2. Part 3 will be the finale of the show, so I'm excited that you will be caught up by the time the last part comes out, so we'll get to watch it together. Unless they pull some Attack on Titan thing and it's final Part 3, Part 1.
If they've already announced it as a third core, then
they have announced it as 3 different cores where,
the Attack on Titan wasn't a surprise. It was just,
so I can't really talk much about what's going on because I don't want to ruin it for you. So
wow, greatly appreciate it.
I'm sure talk about that later in the season when you're caught
around, up. Just doing stuff in science and the future and stuff. Hopefully, maybe.
Good guess.
Yeah.
But things are really, really heating up, so I'm excited to get there with you.
Heating up.
All right.
Heating up. Okay. The next one's you again, big dog.
Yeah, the next one's me again. So the next show is Call the Night Season 2. I had just watched the first season, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did finish it. I didn't.
Yeah, I wanted to get caught up for the second season. Super hyped up. It's a good show. I think it's really funny. And the vibes set it apart from different romance shows I watch.
Yeah.
It's big about it's always taking place at night. So it's the way that they draw the skies and the town is such a vibe, and it's pretty cool to watch, and the characters are super funny. So I can't wait to see more. It seems like things are going to get interesting because towards the end of the first season we were introduced to a vampire hunter.
Ooh, that's crazy.
So now it's not just, hey, you got to fall in love so you can be a vampire. It's hey, we got to survive too.
Yeah, I wonder how seriously they'll take that.
So it seems like things are heating up. I think pretty seriously.
Yeah.
I'd be scared if I was a vampire and there was a vampire hunter
running around. Me too, certainly. I from the outside looking in, isn't it a comedy anime?
It's a romance. I would say I said it's very funny for a rom-com. I'd say it's above average. It's above average funny. I feel like I'm laughing more than I'm being oh, that's cute.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's a calm rom.
A calm rom. Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see it for you, how much of a threat that actually is.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a pretty main point for this season, but only time will tell, and that comes out on July 4th.
How about that, yeah. How about that?
And this one's you.
This one is me. So this comes out on September 12th, so it's, toward the end of the summer season, especially if it's something doing... Actually... Even if it's a show that's 12 episodes, that's 3 months.
Yeah, it's towards the end, though.
So it's still... Well, yeah. It's definitely before winter. Fall. Anyway, a trailer just came out yesterday for the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle first movie. I think it honestly might even be airing in Japan now, and that's where we got the trailer. I'm not positive on that one, though. But USA will be September 12th. And the trailer was it was absolutely incredible. Got me really, really hyped up. I have been saying it to like everybody who's watched Demon Slayer in my friend group. Like, this is going to be better than anybody expects. It's going to be so incredible. Like, the manga was amazing for this arc. I cannot even imagine how well it's going to come together when it's animated. And UFO Table, who's animating it, they do such an incredible job always. I always will think back to the entertainment arc, our entertainment district arc, and that final fight there. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. How incredible that was. And now for them to have a movie's time and budget, it's going to be unbelievable. They also do Fate, Stay Night, one of my other favorite shows. And for the 3 movies they released for the Heavens Feel route, same thing, budget, time, and it was just unbelievable, some of the fights and action set pieces. So I'm really excited for that aspect of things, because I finished this manga 3.5 years ago, and honestly, I didn't even finish the Swordsmith Village arc. I didn't even watch the Hashira training arc. I'm pretty at peace with this story. But now that we're to this point, I'm so unbelievably excited, because it's going to be really special. I think that Demon Slayer hype has really died down over the years. Obviously, when it came out, it was such a smashing hit. But this has really awesome potential to reignite it, and I cannot wait for this movie. It's going to be such an awesome theater going experience. So yeah, September 12th. See it in IMAX, the trailer says. I don't think I've ever seen a movie in IMAX before.
I don't even know what IMAX is, so...
Fair enough.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're moving on here to stuff that we both are interested in. And this is a bit of a throwback. One of the first shows that were one of the earlier rom-coms we watched.
Yeah, for sure.
A Couple of Cuckoos, season 2. Something, we've talked about it multiple times on the podcast. I'd pretty much given up hope that it was ever going to come back. I was at the point where I'm like, maybe I'll read it. And then at one point I saw something about it. You're like, I think it's fake. And then eventually we saw more official announcements. Yeah. And I'm like, it wasn't fake.
I still, I don't think that even that first announcement had the right date now. But maybe it was just saying that it's in production.
Yeah, that it was coming out.
Because even that was a long time ago.
I don't know. We discovered it during a podcast episode, so I don't know how long ago it was now. A bit. But yeah, I'm so excited for this show. It's one of the most fun romances I've watched in a long time. One of my early favorites, doing even in our anime ranking list, this show has, maintained its position. It's still higher than most of the rom-coms we watch now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's better than most of the ones we watch now. So I'm excited to see more. Granted, the first season did get a second course, so it had so much, that extra 12 episodes to develop.
Yeah.
Which, me, one of my catchphrases, a second core really gives a show a chance to develop. I feel like that's what I've said that before.
You definitely
or
have.
Something along those lines.
Some words or others.
I feel like a lot of times when I'm ranking shows, even, romance shows, action shows, the ones that get 24 eps for a first season end up just being higher in my list because there's more show.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's so hard to rank a single core show when it's, only one and you don't know if you're ever going to get more. I did just check and see, so it does look like this season's just going to be 12 episodes.
Yeah, I feel like most shows do that.
It makes sense, dude. It's a double core, as we've watched more and more, understanding, it's pretty crazy to be going for that long.
It's kind of a rarity,
that's
especially for a romance.
A lot of work to put animators through, and then also requires a ton of source material. So yeah, not surprised there. In line with what kind of you were saying at the beginning and how long it's been, I did read ahead in this show, or in the manga rather. But even that was years ago. I might have still been in college when I did that.
I don't know.
That was a long time ago.
I watched it during the second time I had COVID. The same week I watched The Quince.
So maybe I was out of school. I don't remember, truthfully. I probably didn't wait that long afterward. And I read a lot, and then I stopped reading. I don't think it's even concluded yet. But I definitely enjoyed what I read. I do forget like most of it, so that's pretty good for
that's great
for the viewing aspect of things. But yeah, I mean, I definitely remember enjoying what's to come, and I certainly do echo the sentiment of enjoying it thoroughly when it first came out. It's almost a show with like some nostalgia behind it because of how early on it was in our anime journey, and like watching shows as they came. We watched it as they came out, right?
Yeah, when I had COVID, there was like 5 episodes out or something.
Yeah,
and then I got you on it, and then we watched most of it weekly.
Yeah, like that had to have been one of the first seasonal shows we were watching as it came out. Honestly.
Yeah, an early one.
It came out in 2022. I wonder what season. I'll have to look. It might have been after I was done school.
I don't know. It was cool.
But yeah, I think that's great. The trailer certainly seemed pretty interesting.
Yeah, new animation studio for one.
Yeah, that
it looks pretty different. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to like it more, but I feel like that's semi-common in a lot of these romance shows I watch, where they have just like different studios all the time. Like the Quintuplets change studios a lot. My teen romantic comedy Snafu changed studios at some point.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows change studios, I guess. But I don't really, I'm happy as long as I'm getting more of the show. I don't mind a different aesthetic a little bit. And, we're going to meet another character here, so...
Yeah, that certainly is going to be interesting.
She said she's come back to marry Nagi, so...
Yeah, childhood
it seems like she's
coming on really strong.
Yeah, she's going to be another competitor, and it'll make things more interesting and probably more fun.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see.
Certainly is. Yeah, I mean... not to say that the first season's filled with drama because it's all played off for comedy, but like obviously there's some in a show where all these people are fighting for one guy, and then also the whole switch to birth aspect of things
and arranged marriage thing.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of
there is a lot
elements.
of some but yeah, this is certainly gonna make it a bit more dramatic here with another character. So I'm certainly excited to see.
And that is
July 8th.
So, you're saying about a show having to have a lot of source material.
I just want to play with this. Yeah, I think this next one has quite a bit of source material.
One could say too much source material.
Many people are saying this, yeah.
The show that'll never die.
I mean...
Rent a Girlfriend, Season 4. What are you doing?
Just playing around. I like to fidget. And drop stuff on my
computer. So Rent a Girlfriend is getting a 4th season, much to a lot of people's dismay. The show it won't end because it's awesome. Because you can't look away. Now, I have read ahead in the couple of the volumes, so I feel like I've seen everything that'll happen this season.
Probably.
But, I'm excited to see it instead of reading it. So that'll be super exciting,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm stand by it. It's enjoyable to watch. Not saying it's the highest quality show I ever seen, but like, do people watch Rent a Girlfriend and just be like, I don't enjoy this, or like this show's bad? There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably both. There's definitely probably some hate watchers.
Yeah, a hate watcher's still a watcher.
True.
It's gonna keep coming back.
But yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a good show.
It's so much fun to watch.
I have fun watching it. I really enjoyed reading it.
I don't know. I don't really...
Like, this is to the point where... Well, I guess, I mean, the movie arc was the same, but, like, when I just binge read it and caught up years ago, it was a lot of this stuff. And, truthfully, I think I'm probably going to like Season 3 better than I like Season 4. Season 3 is pretty darn good. Season 4 is going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I read too. I read with the when the volumes come out on paper. So this just kind of finished up a little bit. I think there's maybe like 1 or 2 books past this arc.
Gotcha. Yeah, I read
that
this
I've read.
a long time ago.
So things are going to be exciting with this trip to a water park, indoor water park
like
hotel.
Hawaiian resort they call it. They went there in another show. Just recently?
I think is it the other show that Reiji does?
No, didn't they go... Did they?
I don't know. Somebody was talking about it. You're like, hey, that's where they go and rent a girlfriend.
Yeah. Maybe it was, actually. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little jaded with where things have gone now.
Yeah, I heard some rough manga chapters.
380
recently.
chapters in, which is a frustrating thing to say. So I'd say I'm a little less excited than I was maybe for this. Plus, knowing what's to come, like... It's going to be really dramatic. But nonetheless, this is another show we've been watching for such a long time. And, like...
Yeah, this was, like, the first show we ever watched on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I mean, we
on
got Crunchyroll because of it, yeah.
It's making noise.
That's crazy to think. So, yeah, pretty exciting. July 1st. That's it's in 2 days.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's how we kick off the season.
Couple of days we're gonna be watching Red the Girlfriend.
That's how we kick off the season, baby.
Another old returning show. Well, not old, but almost a
couple of
nostalgic
years,
show
yeah.
for us. My
Honestly,
Dress Up
like,
Darling season 2.
Yeah,
comes
when did
out
this come out?
On July 6th. We watched this weekly. This was one of the first weekly shows we watched too.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first shows that we watched that was like a little wild. So I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on here?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this was
January 22.
Winter of 22.
So I'm super excited. I love My Dress Up Darling. It's a super fun show. It's heartwarming. It's a really easy watch, I'd say. So I'm excited for more fun to happen. It looks like the two of them are going to start being like friends at school and all too, which is going to be interesting with a potential cosplay at school adventure. That's what at least I picked up from the trailer. I know you read ahead.
Once again, that was so long ago. I don't remember.
So maybe you remember, but
I don't actually.
All right, regardless, yeah, I think it's going to be a super happy, awesome, fun time.
Yeah, I do think it'll be good. It's been so long. Again, that's kind of crazy. 3 years, 3+ years.
Yeah, I'm just surprised it took so long because this show really did get
it was very popular.
A very positive reception.
Popular.
Understandably so. It's just a fun watch.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see how like the romance progresses. I think we left it in a good spot last season, but I do think it's still going to be a slow burn. But most things are. I think it. I mean, it seemed to introduce some new characters in the trailer, which is interesting. I don't really remember that too much from when I was reading, but once again, that was a really long time ago. So yeah, it'll be cool to see. This is another one that's like nostalgic in a lot of ways, which is crazy to say. But yeah, it's been 3 years. That's wild. That really is. The passage of time. It's a crazy thought. Yeah.
We don't need to get so philosophical.
Well, it's just time.
When we're talking about Dress Up Darling.
I mean, they go hand in hand. Philosophy and My Dress Up Darling. Son of Biscuit Doll. I'm excited. It'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's July 6th. And we have 3 action shows that are returning.
Yeah.
The 3 from last year are all coming back at once.
Exciting. Well, I mean, that's shown in battle anime for you, dude.
And for me, it was like these were the shows was always comparing to each other. I'm like, what was my favorite shonen action show?
Of
2024.
Because they aired all pretty much together.
And now, since they're all airing at the same time, I feel like I'll finally be able to have a fair comparison. No recency bias because they're all going to be happening at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, recency bias cancels out.
The first one on July 19th, which is a little bit of a late start.
It is, yeah.
Is Kaiju number 8, season 2.
Yeah, I think I might have read this only is getting 11 episodes, so that might be why it's releasing later. I am so excited for this. I really, really enjoyed Kaiju number 8. I don't know that it does anything new as a shonen battle anime, truthfully. Like transformations have been done before. A lot of
everything's been done before.
True. I mean, there's always stuff that's new and fresh, and that's exciting too. But as far as the old bread and butter, this show really did it for me. I enjoyed the characters. I think that the battles were fun. The giant kaiju, like, who doesn't love seeing a giant monster? Like, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? In the simplest terms, and then also like. The main character being a 30-year-old who's kind of washed up, but doesn't stop trying his hardest in everything, is pretty inspiring. Like, it was really cool to see. I am always a self-insert protagonist kind of guy, as you know. And an underdog like that's really, really fun to watch. So, yeah, I'm super excited to see more of the show.
Oh, good to know. I'm very excited too. I don't know which one I'm leaning towards right now for most excited for, but
for me it's 1, 2, 3.
I think it's similar, but I think that Kafka is a better protagonist than the next one we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, just the next one's so special.
Yeah, it's a great show. But yeah, I'm super excited to see more Kaiju number 8 now that he can really, use his power without having to be scared of people seeing who he is.
That is good.
We'll finally get to see what he can do. He doesn't have to hide and be in his more feeble, normal human form.
It's far more feeble.
It seems like the other main character, Reno, is not going to be in it very much, which is pretty lame to me.
Yeah,
he was my boy.
This new captain, I think, is a really fan favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Gen. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. It seemed like he has some double sword thing.
Yeah, he's really really strong. So that'll be great to see. And the manga for this is actually also ending, I think, on the 17th of July, which is kind of crazy. So that'll coincide.
Yeah, that's insane. All right. You want to talk about the next one?
Sure, dude. I'll bring it up. Next show, second to last of the Returners, is Dan Season 2. This just came out in, what was it, the fall? It must have been the fall. It wasn't the summer.
Fall.
It couldn't have been a
No,
whole
because
year
Kaiju
ago.
number 8 was the summer. This was the fall, and then the next one was the winter.
Yeah. Gotcha. So really not that long of a wait here, which is really awesome. This might be the returner I'm most excited for. I mean, Demon Slayer, but that's, something we don't watch together. So plus it's a movie. I'm definitely more excited for most of these than Rent a Girlfriend. Dan is just such a special show. Like it blends comedy and action really, really well with a little taste of romance, just a little bit. And that's combined with like really awesome animation. And then also, like, definitely a sense of originality, kind of like I was speaking to at the last show, that this is something I'm really excited to see, where it goes. I think I know, like, a little bit about just this next arc, just because this next villain is, like, one of the most famous in the show. They call it, like, Evil Eye in the trailer. So that'll be really cool. I'm just excited to see more progression from our characters, and like, I don't know, Okarun and Momo are awesome characters. So
yeah, and Granny, dude.
Oh, Turbo Granny, dude. So true. I love Turbo Granny, dude. Turbo Baba. She's good.
Yeah, I'm super excited. The only thing I'm a little worried that the opening song might not live up to the hype.
Probably not. I mean, it's gonna be hard too. That was a lot of fun.
I guess Creepy Nuts could only do one show's opening for this season, and they're coming back to do the Call of the Night one. So I guess it's fine. But I'm sure it'll still be good.
I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Dan is a pretty unique feeling show. It does blend some stuff well together, and I love comedy, so that certainly satisfies my itch there. And it's got good fighting, good action, and really great characters that are, super fun to see them interact. So yeah, I'm super excited as well.
Yes, sir.
And then we have one more returning show.
Uno mas.
And this is Sakamoto Days Part 2.
Yes,
sir. This is completing the trifecta of shonen action shows from last year.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this one. It's hard for me to say, like, I'm least excited about this rather than the other two, but I guess that's probably how I feel.
Definitely am. I just like the other two better. I mean,
I don't know. I just hard for me to place them. That's how I, introduce them all. So I guess, I'll be able to place them more accurately once we see the second season.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sakamoto Days, the first season was just so much fun. Like what I said about Dan is like, oh, it blends comedy and action. This does too.
Yeah, it really does.
And I do almost like the action better in this because it's more human stuff. I don't always like the monsters. I think it's nice to see like some actual, I'm not gonna say actual martial arts because it's like him like throwing accessories at people, but seeing just like normal, no supernatural elements fighting.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with.
I guess there is supernatural elements, but
somewhat. But for me, what makes the fights more fun and interesting is like the creativity that goes into it with him not killing people using a pencil to do this.
Yeah, that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, that is really really fun and enjoyable and fresh. So I see what you're saying there for sure.
But as the opponents that he faces get stronger, it's probably going to be much harder for him to use such strange methods to defeat them. So
yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I don't really know anything about it at all, which is cool. That's rare. I'm interested to see what they do character wise. Seemed like there were a lot of fresh faces in that trailer. Seems like we're going to get more into Sakamoto's past, which will certainly be interesting. Definitely scary to think like people from his past coming back. So I don't think many people are happy with the fact that he's not a hitman anymore. And I think that people are going to try to kill him. And that's kind of scary because he's got a family.
Yeah, that was the whole plot of the first season as well. So I think that'll just continue, I guess.
I think it's going to get worse. But we certainly shall see.
All right.
July 15th.
So that's it for
Netflix
returning
online.
shows. A lot of returning shows this season.
Indeed.
Probably the most ever. I'd say definitely the most ever. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Between the two of us, 9. So that's a lot, but we did find a couple other new shows, and the first one I found is dealing with Mikadona Sisters is a breeze, and this comes out on July 10th.
It's a good day.
And let me read you the little description here.
Yeah, please do.
As the son of the late legendary actress Subaru Ayase, Yu has had many expectations placed upon him after he transferred to Saika Academy, a highly prestigious school where students can hone their personal talents. However, in contrast to his mother, Yu is completely talentless. Being seen as completely mediocre, he would have no chance of standing side by side with the 3 emperors of the Saika Academy, the Mikadona sisters, Miwa, Nico, and Kazuki, who are all prodigies in shogi, martial arts, and performing arts, respectively. So they all have different talents. That's cool. With Subaru's friend agreeing to take her son in, Yu aims to fulfill his mother's last wish to him, which is to build a happy family. After never being able to form a proper mother-son relationship due to their difference in talent. What does that mean?
Well, she was probably busy acting.
Yeah, I guess. And he couldn't act with her because he's not an actor. As it turns out, his mother's friend is actually the father of the Mikadona sisters.
Wow.
Keeping his mother's wish in mind, Yu aims to build familiar... Right? Familial, sorry. Because I'm like familiars. Familial bonds with the siblings. However, due to their extreme focus on their respective specializations, they show little interest in opening themselves up not only to him, but to each other as well. Nonetheless, Yu strives to continuously support the 3 prodigies, and his kindness and care restores the bond between the sisters.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a fun little romp here. Classic setup.
Yeah,
the normal guy gets to move in with the cute girls, and he's gonna get them to, open up and be okay with their feelings, and they're gonna build like a happy family.
That's the
goal. It seems like he was good at plenty of stuff from the trailer.
Yeah,
he was,
house chores.
Cooked chore. Yeah, but that's important in making a nice family.
For sure. Yeah.
It might not be as good as being an actor. But I think it's, I wouldn't say you're mediocre if you can do all that kind of stuff. And if you can make these 3 people who are, don't have any interest in opening up, be able to be comfortable around themselves and him and all, I think that shows some talent. I wouldn't say you're mediocre if you could do all that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that the plot will be proving that he's not mediocre.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most shonen shows start out. They always want to have just like a normal dude, and then he could be like, wow, I've reached my full potential.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be
cooking and cleaner.
Super fun. The characters look kind of unique.
Yeah, I'd say so from that trailer.
Especially the 3 sisters have very different looks. So I'm excited to see, how this goes. If it ends up being as simple as that, what kind of stuff gets thrown their way, who falls in love with who, Only time will tell.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of interesting. Like, I'm usually open to the shows you find because you never know when you're going to find that sleeper hit. So I'm definitely willing to give this a shot and see where it goes. It yeah, like we said, isn't the most original setup, but fun things can be done with
Yeah, when's the last time we watched like a romance with a crazy original setup?
That's fair, yeah.
It's like, what we said about the action shows, only so many things can be done. With romance, there's much less you can do. Like, you can't introduce a new monster, a new power here.
Yeah.
So it is, more common to see a repeated trope.
Yes, yeah.
Which doesn't really bother me, because if you can make something unique, even like the way the characters look, the way they act, just something to make it stand out. And if it doesn't stand out, I'm still just going to enjoy it and have a good time. So
yeah, no, I hear you there.
We don't have much to lose.
No, certainly not.
Just some time, and regardless whether it's original or not, we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me, big dog.
All right, do you want to introduce this next one here?
Sure. So this is one we've probably heard about, I would say, for a year.
Yeah, I've been at least seeing pictures.
Like this anime got announced a while ago, and seems to have a lot of hype around it for a romance, at least from what I've seen on social media. Coming out on July 6th, the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. I couldn't speak.
It's okay.
And as far as our summary here goes, our synopsis, despite being adjacent to one another, Chidori Public High School and the all-girls Kikyo Private Academy seem to exist in two different worlds. While the latter boasts an immaculate reputation and favors students from wealthy backgrounds, the former is a nest for dim-witted delinquents. I love that.
Yeah, it sounds like my kind of place.
Everyone at Kikyo harbors a deep hatred for their Chidori neighbors. Oh no. 16-year-old Rentaro Tsumugi is a student at Chidori whose intimidating face leads people to avoid him. Rintaro pays no mind to this, as he is content with his group of friends. However, there is something he has not yet told them. Sometimes he helps out at his family's cake shop. Not very delinquent of him. You know what I'm saying? One day at work, Rintaro sees a customer at a table, but she runs off before he could talk to her. The next day, he receives an apology from the girl, Kaoruko Wagari, who explains that she did not run away because of his appearance, and that she believes Rintaro is a kind-hearted person. Although he is not used to Kaoruko's bright personality, Rintaro looks forward to forming a friendship with her. There's just one obstacle that stands in the way. Kaoruko is a Kikyo student.
Damn, this is like Romeo and Juliet here.
A little bit.
But if Romeo was like really scary looking, it had like a soft side. I mean, that's something we've seen in plenty of shows.
Of course.
Like a tough guy is not actually tough. I love it. I think it'll be interesting because you don't really see like in a lot of romance shows people going to different schools.
No,
it's usually they're like classmates or something.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see a different set of circumstances that brings
No, you're right.
the two of them together.
That is interesting. And I mean, the schools are right next to each other. Like in the trailer, you see a part where they look at each other through the window.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
So, no, certainly not. But they'll definitely still be able to sneak out of the school and talk to each other.
Yeah, maybe during lunch they can eat outside or something.
But yeah, I think this seems pretty interesting. And with all the hype, like it seems like it's just going to be really cute, really charming. And I think the animation looks pretty good. Like I like the way everything was drawn.
I think this is the one I'm most excited for as far as new shows go.
Yeah, for me, at least as far as romance goes, I would definitely agree. Just, the amount I've heard about it, the amount of hype, compared to the other ones that I have never heard of, which is not a bad thing. We always need a sleeper hit, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it'll be this one.
No, because I think this is, we're going into it with good high expectations.
Yeah. So, yeah, I expect a cute romance with hopefully some great character development. Obviously, there's going to be some things to work through that sounds so far with Rintaro's personality and being able to open up, and not everybody looking at him like he's a scary guy. So that'll be interesting to work through. This will be good.
All right, and we have one more show that I found.
Let's go.
One last romance show. This comes out on July 6th, and it is Cultural Exchange with Game Center Girl. And I'll read you the little description here.
Please do.
Renji Kusakabe, an arcade employee, one day notices a small foreign girl struggling to win a stuffed toy called Manly Koala
Manly Koala
from a crane game. 3 hours later, after finishing his shift, Renji sees the girl still at the game.
Yo, that's so funny.
But the toy remains unmoved.
Oh, man.
Feeling sorry for her, he decides to help. He inserts a 100 yen coin, and with one skillful try, wins the toy, which he then hands to the girl. Startled by this unexpected gesture, the girl looks at Renji with suspicion. Flustered, Renji hastily tells her it's a Valentine's Day gift. Little does he know, in her home country of England, Valentine's Day is traditionally when men give women gifts, along with the confession of love.
Oh, no.
This,
A little mix-up there.
Seems like quite the misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Where his nice young lad is giving this girl a stuffed toy because he feels bad.
Yeah.
But, Valentine's Day is a little different in Japan. It's usually like girls give the guys chocolates.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But I guess England, Valentine's Day is much like it is here in the States, where it's usually men give women stuff, and it's like always like a love thing.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So, I feel like this is going to be a super fun show. I really believe that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be silly. I think it's going to be funny, and I don't think it's going to be deep. And every season needs a show like that.
Yeah, it's just a fun watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know how much Japanese the girl speaks, so I think or at least in the trailer, it was a lot of English being spoken. So that'll be certainly interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know what to expect besides that. It looks like they were going to be having a lot of fun in the arcade. And arcades are fun, so I'll enjoy watching that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to really say about this show. It's just going to be a fun little, once again, fun little romp.
I got you. Yeah, a lot of fun little romps. No, I agree. It just looks like it's good vibes all around. And yeah, the arcade setting, and it looks like it will take place there quite often. It's just really fun. It's. I'm not going to completely liken it to Catch Me at the Ballpark that we watched last season because that atmosphere was just so fleshed out. But it's, I think, fun in a show when the setting is usually the same place, and it's just a fun place to be.
Yeah,
the arcade
I
is
feel
certainly
like
a
an
fun place
arcade's
to
a lot
be.
more fun than being like at a high school.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fun, watching them play games as an adamant arcade and game lover. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Hopefully, there's more misunderstandings to come and keep the show interesting.
Certainly will be with the language barrier. And then I'm also thankful you said that the girl is played by Sally Amaki, right?
Yes, who
speaks pretty good English.
Well, English is her first language.
Is it?
Yeah, she's from America.
That's crazy.
Her parents are just, or one of her parents is just Japanese.
Well, then her English is okay.
it's. I think it's the British accent. That's
maybe. Even in the other show, it sounded like she wasn't speaking English as a first language. That's interesting. I guess I've never heard her just speak.
I don't know. Yeah, she speaks pretty good English.
But yeah, that was just one thing I was going to say. Is like sometimes when somebody's speaking English in a show, it just it sounds dumb to somebody who speaks English as a main language.
In Catch Me at the Ballpark, it's a great example of when they were trying to speak English. It sounds like somebody who doesn't speak English.
Yeah. So I'm happy with this being a show that's so focused on it.
Yeah, to have somebody who speaks English. I think. I don't know. I guess you're gonna look it up.
I am gonna look it up.
I'm pretty sure she speaks English first.
That's interesting. Because it says American singer.
Yeah, there you go. But regardless, I think that would be really interesting. It'd be cool too if they did what they did with what was that one show? Tomo-chan as a girl. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. That she played in the dub and the subtitle, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, that is cool.
But yeah, I'm super excited about that. I think it'll be super fun to watch.
Yeah, that looks like it has some potential.
Yeah, I think so. I almost missed it, but I'm like just filtered by romance. I'm like, arcade. This has got to be interesting. And then I watched the trailer. I'm like, this will be fun.
Indeed. All right, so we got one more show to talk about. And of the new shows, this one is definitely the one with the most hype, as it is like a shonen, a little bit of a darker shonen show. I have been looking at this word for probably a year since I first heard of the manga, and I'm still not sure how to say it properly, but I'm going to give it a go. I think it's Gachiakuta. I think. But I'm sure we'll hear it more and more, and we'll have the proper pronunciation. But this comes out on July 6th, and as far as the summary goes...
Gachiakuta. That sounds right.
I think so, too. Living in the slums of a wealthy town, Rudo and his foster father, Regto, try to coexist with the rest of the town's residents. But Rudo despises the wastefulness of the upper class. Ignoring the warning from those around him, Rudo regularly rummages through the town's garbage in search of anything useful or valuable to save from the abyss, a massive hole where anything considered trash is dumped, including people. Rudo's biological father was one such person, having been thrown into the abyss after he was accused of murder. One day, after running into a mysterious figure on the way home, Rudo returns to find Regto's body on the floor. Jeez. He is immediately found at the scene by the authorities and charged with murder. No one believes his claims of innocence, and he is thrown into the abyss. Instead of dying, however, he finds himself in a strange, foul-smelling place surrounded by monsters made out of trash. When Rudo is attacked by said monsters, he is saved by a man named Engine, who reveals himself to be a cleaner, someone who uses special weapons called vital instruments to combat these creatures. In order to get his revenge on the one who killed Regto, Rudo reluctantly becomes a cleaner to fight his way back up and out of the abyss. So this, once again, certainly has some originality behind it, which I think could lead to its popularity and why the manga's been so popular. Definitely has darker tones, and I'm a fan of A Tale of Revenge. I don't. Maybe that's a simple-mindedness.
Yeah, dude, revenge is a dish best served cold.
It's true. I'm really interested to see that. But as far as like powers and stuff go, this certainly seems unique. Living in a trash world, I think, is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
trash monsters.
Let me tell you something. This description here fixed my one problem, my main problem with the trailer.
What's that?
Is that they call it the Abyss. In the trailer, the subtitles were calling it the Pit.
The Pit.
I'm like, I don't like the Pit. The Abyss sounds way cooler. I'm like, why does this town just have a pit?
Well, if the subtitles call it the Pit, they're probably going to call it the Pit when we watch it.
I don't know, man, but I'll call it the Abyss.
I mean, the Pit.
The Abyss sounds way better.
Dude, I like the Pit.
This town doesn't need a crash pit.
We got to make it out of the pit. No, but I don't really know a whole lot about the show, despite all the hype that I'm talking about. But I'm really excited to see what happens with it. This is definitely the new show that I'm most excited for. And if the popular shonen shows that have been made into anime recently are any indicator, I think this will definitely be a hitter.
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping I don't see a ton more CGI.
Yeah.
The CGI didn't look bad.
I didn't think. I thought you were blonde.
I just usually don't like CGI.
Yeah,
I very rarely
it's
see
hard
CGI
to animate
that looks good.
Big giant monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially on a week-to-week basis.
So,
like, I understand it.
Yeah.
Like, the Pit's a tough place to animate.
It's true, dude. The Pit.
But yeah, it seems like an interesting plot here, so I'm excited to see it. We'll see if it can live up to the other shonen action anime that we're watching.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say that this one's from Kodansha's Weekly Shonen. It's not Shonen Jump. So I think that leads it to be able to be much darker than most regular Shonen Jump shows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, too, I never heard another show have an abyss.
True. The Pit. Yeah, there's the guy there. He's got, like, his weapon seems to be something with his hands.
The characters looked pretty cool, too.
Yeah, I thought so.
Like, they look different.
I thought so.
Pretty unique, so I'm excited to...
Yeah, the cleaners.
I'm excited to see that.
The cleaners in the pit. Sorry, it was just funny. I think that'll be awesome. And that's July 6th. That is coming up mighty soon as this season draws near. I can say the hype is real. I'm really, really, really excited for this. We've been talking about it for a long time, and it's finally here.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So hopefully you guys are watching along with us. Once we watch the first couple episodes of everything, we'll be back at you with our check-in.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything's going well by then.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I guess we'll be back to potentially some deep dives next week.
Yeah. I mean, next would be The quintuplets, right, on your list?
Yeah. I just did a rewatch of pretty much everything, so I'm ready to go, dude.
Good, dude. I love to hear it.
So
I'm always ready to
look
go.
forward to that next week.
Indeed. All right. Thank you, guys. Peace.